Hello you guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about why you should start doing a consultation call with any couple that is looking to book with you. Now, right when I sit down to film, the neighbors are doing some yard work, so I'm sorry if you can hear all the mowers and things, I don't know. It's happening, okay? It's happening. It's happening. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, we do the best we can in these situations, right? We persevere, we push on. When I was first starting out in photography, I did not want to get on a consult call, consult call, whatever. When I was first starting out, because I was just so nervous. I hadn't, had a lot of weddings under my belt, and it just seemed like really intimidating. I know even photographers who have done this for a long time still don't really like jumping on the phone because I don't know if it's a generational thing. We just don't like talking on the phone, and that's okay. But I'm here to tell you a few reasons why you should be doing it. And I had to make myself do this because now I can't imagine not having a call with a potential couple for a wedding. So I'm going to give you just a few reasons why you should start doing a consult call and why it's so important for me. So the first thing is you should send all of your pricing and everything beforehand. Now, there is some debate, and I think a lot of it is a little bit of opinion on if you should put all of your pricing information on your website. I don't put all of my pricing information on my website, but I do have the average investment price, or people do a starting at price. But you should send all of that information before a consult call. So that's just like a little note. Usually when a couple inquires with me, I then send them all of my pricing and collections, and it's a whole document that I sent them, and then I schedule the call after I send that to them so they can kind of review. There's some FAQs in there, so hopefully it answers a lot of the questions they might have, but definitely send all the pricing before a call. The reason that consult calls are so beneficial is that it's so much easier to answer questions on the call than going back and forth through email. Something that I did have a lot of fear in, starting consult calls, was the questions. I was afraid that I wouldn't know the answer to questions. I wouldn't know what to say. I get fumble over my words. But all of the questions that I've been asked personally in the consult calls have been pretty straightforward. Most of the time it's what's your process for posing, what happens if you get sick, what do we do then, payment options, how much is a deposit, some questions like how many photos do we get, very standard run-of-the-mill questions. Okay, I haven't had anything crazy. It is intimidating, but it is so much easier to go ahead and answer all those questions on a call. You get them all out versus going back and forth in email. Things get lost, and what if they don't see it? And I just think it's so much easier to sit down on the phone, or sometimes I do video calls. Most of the time I do video calls so they can see my face and just answer all of their questions and get it all out of the way so they have all of the information they need to make a decision. The second thing is they can get a feel of your personality. So a lot of lost in email, in text, but on the phone or a video call, like I said, I prefer video calls so they can actually see my face. I'm a real person, behind the website and the Instagram and all of the things. So they can get a feel for your personality. I think that's really important because I personally believe that there are so many wonderful photographers out there. I live in, a suburbs of a city, so there are tons of amazing photographers just in my area. There's tons of wonderful photographers out there, but what makes me special is me, my personality, working with me, who I am as a person, right? So same thing with you. You're probably a wonderful photographer, but what makes you most unique is yourself, your personality, how you work, your workflow. You make your business. And so that's why I like to kind of talk with potential clients so they can get a feel for my personality and see if we're a good fit, because some people just don't vibe, and that's okay. I'm not offended if somebody gets on the phone with me and immediately thinks no, that's fine. You're finding your people, you're making your decision, and it's totally cool. Like I said, so many great photographers just in my area, but I like to be able to give them kind of a glimpse into my personality, which goes into the next point, which is I get a feel for their personality, and I get to kind kind of get a vibe check on them and see if we're going to be a good fit. And some couples, you get weird vibes from not every, like the majority of my inquiries, and I jump on a call with them, like they're perfectly pleasant people. Say that 3 times fast. There are some people who, through the line of questioning, you're getting a vibe from them. You are not their ideal photographer and they're not your ideal client, and that's okay. For example, I had a potential couple ask if I could edit differently. And I just don't do that. I don't edit differently. Personally, some people do, and that's totally fine. And I told them maybe you should find another photographer that's more in line with the style you're looking for, because the style that's on my website, on my Instagram, any of my social media, that is my style and that is what I'm specializing in. So I would be doing you a disservice if I tried to edit in a different way that I'm not as proficient in, if that makes sense. So that I kind of had to let go, right? So I wasn't the right fit. Being on that consult call, answering those questions, getting a feel for their personality, and seeing if we're gonna be a good fit, if I can give them exactly what they're looking for, that it just goes by a lot quicker on a call. You can kind of get that, versus if they book with me and I do an engagement session and then they hate their pictures and realize that we're actually not a good fit, but we're already like, you know, deep into the process. It's easier to just kind of do the best you can with a consult call to hopefully get around a lot of those potential issues and just find your ideal client. Like they're looking, they need to find their ideal photographer for them, and as a photographer you need to find your ideal client. And the last thing is, I like to go through my entire process, what it looks like to book with me on these calls. I give my couples all of the information they possibly could need, probably too much information to be honest. Then they have the correct expectation of what it would look like booking with me from start to finish. From we want to book with you, what that looks like, contract, deposit, questionnaires, okay, engagement sessions, galleries, sneak peeks, okay, after engagement session, timeline, wedding day, all of these things after the wedding, getting canvases to you, and like all of the things. They are fully aware of the entire process, and I think it just gives them all the information they need to know to make the best decision for them. And that's what I like about consult calls. Yes, I get to see if I'm gonna be a good fit for them, if they're a good fit for me, but at the end of the day, I like to give my couples or potential couples all of the information they possibly could need to make the best decision for them. And usually I can accomplish this in just one call. So after the initial call, they have all the information, and if they don't want to continue like booking with me, that's totally fine. They have the information and then they can make that decision. I'm gonna say the majority of the time on the consult call, or the same day of the consult call, like after we hang up later that day, they wanna book with me. Usually when I can get a couple on the phone or video call, they end up booking with me like within 24 hours of the call. And I attribute it to hopping on a call, then meeting me, getting my personality, and you know, we kind of vibe and it's a fun time. I had one potential bride, actually when we got on the phone call, wow, the sun is going behind the clouds. Lighting's a little funky today too, okay? I had a potential bride comment that she really liked getting on a video call with me because she actually got to see me. A lot of other vendors, you just get on like a phone call with them, and she liked the video call because like she could see my face and stuff. So I just think it is so important to have the consult call for probably more reasons than I mentioned in this video. So if you have any more reasons why you love to do a consult call with any potential client or couple, please leave them down in the comments below. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Bye!